Coach, obviously, the first quarter defense is nothing different.
Yeah. They just did us. You know what I mean? I'm well aware that our group is always intentional about the things that we bring to their attention. And when we talked about it yesterday to a man, they were all like, you know, those numbers don't look like Suns defense numbers. And Kevin made a great point about we should never be in the last place of any category when it comes to NBA defense and offense. And so our guys just took the challenge, probably wanted to shut me up about it. And that's who we can be on a night in and night out basis. You may not hold a team to 22 points, but you can play the way that we play to start the game. And it's the one thing that we feel like no matter who you have on your roster, you can play that kind of defense with the energy, effort, and game plan discipline.
You know, you went with Yambo and Ish and put about the job. What made you go with that?
Yeah, it was strictly about the size that they had. I thought those guys were so doggone big. Not that Jock can't play with those guys, but Biz has physicality. He plays with great energy, and we just felt like he was a bit more physical for those matchups. And then getting, you know, Mitchell back, he's a big dude. And so I just went that way. And then Ish, Toppin's been playing pretty well, and he's so mobile and athletic. We just felt like Ish may give us a more mobile guy against an athletic stretch four like Toppin. So it was, you know, one of those things could change the next game. We'll just do our best to make the right calls when we can. It wasn't anything foundational. It was just something that we felt today.
What was it that enabled you to pull away?
I mean, we started scoring a bit more in the second quarter. I mean, it looks like we scored a little bit, but we had, I don't know how many possessions in a row in the second quarter where it just got a bit stagnant, and they started scoring a little bit. And so in the second quarter, we scored some and were able to set our defense. And you can see we got another 22-point defensive quarter, but we scored. It was 35-22.
Monty even was diving in on the offensive.
Yeah.
Is that something specific you guys saw with the Knicks where you wanted to really attack that?
It's what we want to do every night. As I've said a few times, Kevin has been the guy that's changed my view on all of that stuff. I was always a get back guy, 3, sometimes 4 guys to make sure your transition defense was in place. And our first year, I think we were number 1 in the league in transition, but it didn't necessarily mean you were going to win a bunch of games. You just had enough guys back there to play defense. We're finding out that if we send multiple guys, it can slow teams down. And our transition defense hasn't suffered like I thought it would. We hope it continues. But we just tell our guys to go, especially when you're opposite of the shot. And sometimes you can be on the same side and you're already there. You see an alley. We want our guys to be aggressive to go get the ball.
Another follow-up from pregame, you talked about closing out things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Different tonight.
He's gotten to a place with us, with me, where there's a trust level now. I think it was 4 minutes left and they cut it to 16, and, you know, Book's looking at me and everybody's like, Coach, you know, I was like, just if we can win this game and bag those minutes, it'll be great for us. But it was because Cam was on the floor. And, you know, he's had this time now with Chris being out to get settled in that role. And what I don't want him to do is back off at all when Chris does come back. We want him playing the same way he's playing right now.
Coach, you mentioned yesterday that you wanted to be more connected with the guys who were stepping up in the rotation that we were and stacking this out.
Yeah.
With this game, do you see any progression in that? How do you, how many more games would you say where is sample size of seeing that progression?
Well, this second 10, we've been like this. So for me, it's like we got to do it again. So the first 10, we were much more consistent. The second 10, we had a number of injuries, guys in and out of the rotation, and we just been a bit inconsistent with that stacking solid deal. So what we're looking for is, putting some games together as far as stacking solid, playing high level defense the way we played tonight, and, be able to put some games in a row. That's the goal, and hopefully we can do that. But I want the guys to enjoy this. I don't even want to bore them with all that until we see them tomorrow.
What goes into your thinking as you're doing a rotation where, like the other night, Lansdale, you played a lot against the Warriors. Tonight you used Bamble a lot. Is it matchups, or what in particular are you doing?
Sometimes it's matchup based. Sometimes it's just a feel. We'll get together, myself and Kevin, we'll go through rotations. And we also look at other teams' rotations, because now teams are pretty much set how they're going to rotate their guys. So you can see based on the rotation data when somebody's going to come into the game. And so we try to base it on that. Sometimes it's just a matchup. Like tonight, we tried to keep Torrey in the game when Randall was in the game, or when Jalen came back in, we put McHale in the game. So it's probably too much to talk about now. We don't have enough time, but we just try our best to use the information that we're given to give our team a chance to win.
How do you like the playing and then putting Washington in? How do you like how that's worked out in terms of the work?
It's okay. I mean, Cam's playing a ton more minutes than he's ever played. The last time I think he played this many minutes was against the Clippers in the playoffs. So when Chris goes out, he typically takes on this role. But Dwayne is, he reminds me of where Cam used to be. Cam used to come in and just fire, and there wasn't a lot of balance. Now he's got so much more balance. He understands the offense, and Dwayne comes in and he's firing, and that's what he does well. And so you kind of like the mix of the two. He's a good injection. And when I say fire, it's not like a selfish, reckless. It's just him playing to his skill set. He just got here. He's been with us in the program as far as learning the offense and defense, not quite 2 months, so it takes a minute to figure out all the silliness that we try to teach.
Early in the second quarter, there was a couple of consecutive possessions where the DA got the ball in the post.
Yeah.
Specifically, was that from you, or was that just how the team just kind of ball into that football?
Probably a combination of both. I mean, we came out of timeouts trying to establish him in the post a little bit tonight, or this afternoon, and feel like there's a matchup or an opportunity to do that. We're gonna, take those shots. I like it because it gives us balance. When you post up a guy, there's a tendency to flatten out the defense, and a lot of those shots that they take are short shots, so you can't get out and run. And DA can score in there. We don't always go to him like that, but when we see opportunities to do it, we'll take a shot at it.
Usually you guys
Last one.
challenged on rebounding, and the Knicks came in being a really good rebounder.
Yeah.
Rebound. Was that a particular point of emphasis?
Kevin, he's every day. It's like, I feel like I'm not boxing out and rebounding when he comes. He's pretty amped up about us rebounding the ball, and he's unleashed our whole group. It's pretty clear that when we rebound well, we have a good chance to win. That's just the way it is. And when we can get that many offensive rebounds, we're pretty hard to beat. A lot of the offensive rebounds came because we didn't shoot the ball that well in the first half, but you had to against this team because they have bigs that will, move the crowd, if you will. And if they get the ball, they have enough guys that can knock down shots. So we made an emphasis of it yesterday and before the game today to make sure we keep those guys off the glass.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.